In the Siversk front, drones from the K-2 battalion spotted 2 Russian BM-21 Grad MLRSs, which are opening fire in the direction of the Ukrainian positions. The Ukrainian forces prepared their FPV drones and managed to pass through the Russian air defense by delivering 2 very accurate strikes on the Russian rocket launcher. Trying to respond, the Russian army sent a lone tank, hoping that it could advance in the direction of the Ukrainian defenses. This tank is equipped with a turtle armor, but this is not going to help it defend against the drone strikes. The Ukrainian drones deliver the first strike, and this forces the Russian tank to retreat. And while driving backwards, it opens fire sporadically in different directions. 2 more FPV drones manage to land on the Russian tank until they immobilize it and stop it from advancing. Another Russian tank was sent to join the battle, but as soon as it gets close to the Ukrainian defenses, it gets ambushed by 2 Ukrainian tanks, which open fire immediately and forced the Russian tank to retreat. A group of Russian motorcycles and a buggy are spotted by the drones. Yet again, the Russian army doesn't give up, and from the same direction, they deploy 2 more tanks. As soon as these tanks get outside the village, they get ambushed by the Ukrainian FPV drones. The first tank was heavily damaged, and the second one was immobilized just next to the previously destroyed Russian tanks. The surviving Russian troops managed to get outside the tank and are trying to find cover in this open field, while being chased down by the Ukrainian drones. With nowhere to hide, the Russian troops are now an easy target for the Ukrainian artillery strikes. Two motorcycles tried to advance in the direction of the Ukrainian defenses, but the Ukrainian quadcopter drones dropped some very accurate grenades on their positions. This forces the Russian troops to retreat, but while trying to turn their bikes, they skated in the snow and crashed. So now they are running away on foot. Due to the low visibility caused by the turtle armor, a Russian tank driver crashed his tank inside a ditch and could not get out. This forces the Russian crew to get outside the tank, but another drone flies above them and drops a grenade. This when the Russian commander decided to stop sending their expensive armored vehicles in this battle, and they left their troops scattered in this area without any kind of support. Knowing that no evacuation is coming for them, The Russian troops are trying to run away, some on foot, some on motorcycles, but they all get targeted by the Ukrainian FPV drones. It is impossible to outrun them. How drones transformed war in Ukraine. Small FPV drones, which travel at 37 miles per hour, have become ubiquitous, evolving from a novelty to a weapon of choice. There remains no shortage of artillery or mortar shelling in the war in Ukraine, but the spidery 7-inch FPV quadcopter, capable of carrying a kilogram of explosive and operated with goggles and a handheld controller, has become ubiquitous. In the words of Samuel Bendet, a drone expert with the Center for Naval Analyses, the weapon has evolved from being a novelty in 2022 to one of the weapons of choice in 2023, to roaming the entire tactical space. Patient solo attacks are not the only tactic as usage evolves. As the numbers increase, simple swarm attacks are often deployed. Dennis describes an artillery bombardment by drone on a Russian position near the frontline town of Toretsk in the eastern Donbass. We dropped 1.5 kilograms of explosives every 8 minutes for 3 hours. By the end, they had retreated. The whirring sound of an unexplained small drone near the front terrifies. Alexei, an infantryman training near Sumy, says it is impossible to outrun them. You have to shoot them down. Alexei, who was a butcher near Kherson in the south before being called up, recalls a moment where he was nearly killed by a drone. It had begun to dip. I had started to run. Then I tripped over a branch, and the drone carried straight on, through where I would have been. Small FPV drones travel at around 37 mph, 60 kmh, quicker than Usain Bolt's 27.8 miles per hour top speed. They force armored vehicles to drive rapidly to and from the front line, ferrying troops or casualties, and thermal cameras mean they can operate as effectively at night. The ability to strike has been democratized to where nothing can be safe on the battlefield, Bendet says. Battery life limits flight time, though a kamikaze FPV drone in good weather can travel as far as 20 kilometers. But a priority is to save money by deploying returning bomber drones, so an effective operating radius is closer to 5 kilometers. An FPV drone is one of 2 types dominant on the battlefield. The others are commercial Mavic quadcopters made by a Chinese company, DJI. But the FPV is simpler and designed in Ukraine or Russia. Although, as Dennis says, many of the components still come from China, theoretically aligned to the invader. Ukrainian company, China Elements, the soldier acknowledges, though efforts are being made to source components from elsewhere.